10-man Chelsea kept the mighty Virgins at bay at Stamford Bridge. From Reece James' world-class display to Robert Sánchez' best performance in a Chelsea shirt, as far as the 5 things we learned from Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. But before we dive into this gargantuan preview, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drills. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. The world champions secured an impressive point against the European Virgin at the Stamford Bridge. Personally, for me, I'm not thrilled with the results, but the performance gives me confidence in this team. 2 wins and a draw in 3 games, all of them marked as potential banana peels. Makes this week solid for Chelsea, even if the result feels a bit underwhelming. So sit tight, let's dive into 5 things we learned. And we'll start with red card, no problem. Let's be honest, when Chelsea normally goes to 10 men, we all know the script: panic, disorganization, vibes defending, and eventually a goal that wants to make you throw away your phone. That has been our reality for years. No structure, no belief, no identity when adversity hits. But this time we showed something different. Something we haven't seen at Stamford Bridge in a long while. And that is maturity. Caicedo got sent off in the 38th minute after VAR took one look at the stud challenge on Merino and decided to ruin the vibe of the game. Whether you think it's harsh or not, the fact is simple. We were down to 10 men. And in the past, this is where we crumble. But under Maresca, this was the first real moment where we could see he's actually improving on the job. Because instead of ripping up the plan, instead of panicking like he did against Manchester United earlier in the season, he trusted the structure, he trusted the behaviors, and he trusted us to stay in the game. And the boys delivered. We kept our shape, we stayed compact, we rotated the midfield line properly instead of letting Arsenal walk between the line. And even when we had the ball, we didn't just blast it into orbit. We tried to play. We tried to stay brave, and that alone tells you the mentality is shifting. Then in the early second half, we took the lead. Chalobah rising like he has been waiting for his whole life for that moment, burying a header from a perfect corner delivery. That goal wasn't luck. It was preparation, confidence, and belief. A 10-man team doesn't score that goal unless they are mentally locked in. And after that, we defended like a unit. No stupid gaps, no brain-dead pressing, no childish mistakes. We limited Arsenal, a full-loaded team with 1-man advantage, to scraps for most of the match. That's discipline, that's organization, that is a team finally recognizing who they are. And you could feel it in the attitude. We didn't play like victims. We played like a team that still believe we deserve something from the game. And look at what Maresca said after the match. I think the red card is a red card. I struggle to understand the different way to judge. What about Bentoncourt or Reece? Why is this one red and one isn't? He's right, because that exact challenge that Reece James took versus Tottenham somehow wasn't a red. The inconsistency is insane. But instead of letting that disrupt us, we handled business. Chelsea finally looked like a side with backbone. A side that can take a punch, stay on their feet, and still control the fight. Even with 10 men, we showed shape, identity, courage, and mentality. For the first time in a long time, going down to 10 men didn't mean disaster. It meant a test, and we actually passed it. Which brings me to the second thing we learned: mentality shifts. If you ever wanted a proof that this Chelsea team is finally growing up, finally building some real backbone, finally acting like a team that believes in itself again, this game was the clearest evidence. Holding the top team in the league to a 1-1 draw while playing with 10 men for more than half of the game isn't luck. It's mentality, it's identity, it's growth. And you could feel it everywhere. In the way we defended, in the way we attacked, in the way we reacted to adversity. Let's start with a stat that Arsenal wouldn't like to hear. Arsenal had just 2 touches in the opposition box in the opening 45 minutes versus Chelsea, the fewest in the first half of a Premier League game since December 2021. Read that again. Arsenal, the league leaders, 2 touches at Stamford Bridge against us. That's not just tactics, that's attitude, that's hunger. That's a team that refuses to be pushed around. And even after the red card, even when logic said pack the bus and pray, we didn't. Let that be our identity. We stayed brave, we kept trying to play when possible, and when the chance came from set piece, we took it. We finished the match with 38% possession, 11 shots, 4 on target, 1 big chance created, and an XG of 0.94 to Arsenal's 0.99. So even with 10 men, even with tactical disadvantage, we still produced a game that was tactically balanced. That's a mentality shift. That's belief. That's a team that doesn't view adversity as a death sentence. And let's talk about the 11 that delivered this. Sanchez, Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella at the back. James, Caicedo in midfield. And the front four of Extoval, Enzo, Neto and Joao Pedro. This isn't some fully polished trophy-winning lineup. It's young, evolving squad, still developing chemistry and confidence. Yet the mentality they showed, that was elite. Joao Pedro especially deserves the mention. He was the standout in attack and he gave us presence when we needed it the most. A 7.0 rating, 55 minutes, 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 big chance, 21 touches. He worked, he found pockets, he link played. He gave us something to build off. And yes, he has to sharpen the end product and he knows that. But the intent, the aggression, the willingness to take responsibility, that's mentality. And that's what we have been missing. And the whole team mirrored that. Even with a man down, we still managed to keep Arsenal at bay. We didn't collapse, we didn't hide, we didn't switch off. We fought. This wasn't delusion. This was a genuine mentality shift. A team that used to crumble under pressure now absorbs it, adapts and finds ways to stay competitive. A team that once played scared is now starting to believe again. And that belief, that still is exactly what Maresca has been trying to build. Which brings me to the third thing we learned. What class Reece James? In a match where all the hypes, all the previews, all the storyline was built around Rice versus Caicedo. It was our right back playing out of position, coming into the midfield zone, taking responsibility no one expected. Walked in and stole the entire show. Reece James didn't just play, he played like a man who was sick of disrespect. Sick of conversation, sick of the noise, and decided he was going to shut everyone up in 90 minutes. He finished with a 7.8 rating and the numbers are ridiculous. 1 assist, 1 big chance created, 3 accurate crosses, 2 key passes, 1 shot, 50 touches, 1 tackle, 1 interception, 1 clearance, 2 recoveries, 6 ground duel won, 5 aerial duel won, 11 out of 12 duels won overall. That's dominance. This isn't the start of someone who just did his job. This is a start of a leader, a controller and a problem solver. A player who decided we weren't losing this game. He took the corner for the goal, delivered it with precision of a world-class tactician, and defensively, he stabilized everything around him. After the red card, we lost Caicedo when the midfield was stretched. When Arsenal should have taken control, Reece James stepped into that leadership vacuum and filled it himself. This performance matters more than people realize. We were 10 men down, talent alone doesn't save you. Mentality does, leadership does, presence does, and Reece James showed all three. And this is why the label world class isn't hyperbole for this match. It's the truth. He carried us, he guided the team, he set the tone, he made Rice look ordinary. He made Arsenal's left side scared to push up. And he showed everyone exactly why we always say he's the best right back in the world. He's now forcing his way into midfield debate too. The way he stepped into those zones, controlled the tempo, won duels like a number 8. He still delivered elite-wide contribution. That's not a normal fullback. That's generational versatility. And the timing of this performance, perfect. Because let's not pretend, James has taken way too much disrespect this week. The injury, the comparison, his finished comment, people were chatting nonsense. So what does he do? He comes into a high-pressure derby with 10 men against the Premier League leaders and put up a clinic. Another reminder of his level, another reminder of his class, another reminder of why we stand by him every single time. Which brings me to the fourth thing we learned. Sanchez's perfect performance. Sanchez has been cooked for months. Every mistake clipped, every shaky moment magnified, every misplaced pass turned into a meme. He has been under fire from fans, pundits, rival accounts, everyone. But today, he shot every single person up. This was the cleanest, most complete performance he had in a Chelsea shirt in a very, very long time. Finished as the highest rated player on the pitch with an 8.3 rating and the numbers to back it up. 3 saves, 2 saves in the box, 1 punch, 2 high claims, 1 key pass, 2 clearance, 11 recoveries. That's not just a goalkeeper doing his job. That's a goalkeeper becoming the backbone of a team playing with 10 men. What made this performance special wasn't just the shot stopping, it was the calm. For the first time in ages, Sanchez looked composed. No sloppy passes into midfield, no panic hope for the best punches, no questionable distribution that puts us under pressure. Every decision was clean, controlled and confident. And when your keeper is calm, we breathe differently as a team. Fofana relaxed, Chalobah holds the line. Cucurella doesn't feel forced into desperation clearance. The whole defensive structure tightens because the man behind them is reliable. And remember the situation. We are playing with 10 men. Midfield spacing was stretched. Arsenal were pushing bodies forward. One mistake from Sanchez, it could have turned into a disaster. But instead, he made big saves, brave claims, and even contributed going forward with an unexpected key pass. Reports after the match praised him, and rightly so. Without Sanchez, the draw doesn't happen. He was crucial in keeping Arsenal at bay after the red card. Yes, conceding the equalizer stopped this from being a fairy tale performance. A clean sheet would have sealed the redemption arc. But context matters. When your defensive structure is compromised, your keeper has to be Superman. And Sanchez wasn't Superman, but he was absolutely everything we needed. And that's what we have been asking for. Call it what it is. Sanchez delivered. He reminded everyone of the keeper we thought we were signing. He gave us stability when we needed it most. He turned a weakness into strength. If we can build on this, suddenly the goalkeeping conversation looked very, very different. Which brings me to the last and final thing we learned: defensive awareness. If there's one area we have been clowned for most, it's the defensive discipline. We have been called chaotic, immature, easy to break down, soft under pressure, and in previous seasons, all of that was true. But this game showed something we are not used to seeing with Chelsea anymore: actual defensive organization, measured discipline, structure under stress. After Caicedo red card, nobody would have blamed us for collapsing. Arsenal usually feast on team with 10 men. They overload wide areas, rotate their midfield three, and suffocate you until the inevitable happens. Arsenal had to work for everything, and that's not something we have been able to say for a long time. This is what defensive maturity looks like: a unit, not just bodies in the line. Let's talk about the heart of this defensive shift: Robert Sánchez and Wesley Fofana. For the first time, you could see why this pairing might genuinely be the future. Robert Sánchez, the man who gave us the lead, was outstanding. A 7.8 rating, 1 goal, 1 tackle, 6 clearance, 4 recoveries, 1 ground duel won, 4 area duel won, and 0 time dribbled past. This wasn't just a goal scorer performance, it was a captain level display. He read dangers early, stepped into challenges with timing, and attacked every single area duel like it owed him money. Arsenal tried to isolate him after the red card. He handled it like a seasoned veteran. Next to him, Wesley Fofana finally looked like a monster we have been waiting to see fully unleashed. A 6.9 rating, 1 tackle, 11 clearance, 6 recovery, 1 ground duel won, 6 area duel won, and 0 time dribbled past. 11 clearance with 10 men is insane. That's authority control. That survival mode executed with control. And the fact that he wasn't dribbled once showed his positioning was sharp. What makes this pairing special isn't just the physicality, it's the synchronization. Chalobah stepping up while Fofana recovers. Fofana attacking crosses while Chalobah guards the second ball. The line shifting together. The communication never dropping. This isn't random last-ditch defending. This is a coordinated evolution. But as good as the defensive awareness was, the equalizer we conceded still exposed the next step in our development. Arsenal scored from a soft cross when cover wasn't tight enough and the block wasn't aggressive enough. That's where the awareness still needs to polish. But here is the key. In previous season, that moment would have been one of the 5 or 6 collapses. Today, it was 1. That's progress. And this game showed us that our defensive IQ is rising. The backline fully looked like a unit instead of 4 strangers wearing deceptions. Maresca's structure is beginning to take hold. The player understands spacing better, the rotation feels natural, the communication looks real. And even under stress, especially under stress, we stayed connected. Chelsea defended like a team again. Not perfectly, but with purpose, structure, and identity. And this is where we are in this rebuild, and that is massive. And with that said, that's the end of the video, my friend. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.